Hi guys, so I'm just going to do another video. This is in regards to their paws, trimming the hair as well as the nails. So this is actually for guys that have a lot of excess hair in between the toes. It's not for our curly coats or our fluffy dogs that have the same length hair all the way down the entire leg, as doing this to their paws will make their paws look very unproportioned. But for the guys that have a lot of excess hair in between their toes, all you can do is just brush up the hair, and this is the only time that I would allow or recommend using scissors on the dog. And anytime you brush up, just take your scissors and go on top of the crevice in between the two toes and just cut. Again, on top of the in-between crevice and cut. And again on the same thing on this one. Same thing for underneath the paws. The best thing you can do for your dog is actually bring the paw in the most natural way as possible. So normally bending it upwards, if they will stand up for you. So just bending it back, which will expose the hair. Will expose the hair on the paws itself. So now this is the other time that I would also recommend using scissors, is to get that hair in between the toes. Just cut down to be even with the paw pads. So I'm not digging in, I'm not doing any of that. I'm just gonna lay my scissor flat on the paw pads and cut. Again, same here. And cut. Here, sweetheart. It's okay, Mama. And again, you can use your brush to bring all the hair forward and out from in between the toes. And again, on top of the pad and cut. Making sure my scissors are flush with the pad so I'm not going to cut anything. Obviously, it's not going to be as clean as it is when you bring your dog to the groomer, as we normally will shave in between. But it's good for right now, for cleaning them up, just to prevent them from having so much excess hair, especially in the rainy, muddy weather, so they're not tracking all the mud in. So then I'll show you just what it looks like. Again, this is not really the natural way of her holding her paw, so I wouldn't cut like this, but she's a very good girl and used to being groomed. So we're going to do it this way just for video purposing. So again, you can bring the hair in between the toes down, making sure you're flush with the pad and cut. Again, flush with the pad and cut. And that's to try and get their paw pads as clean as possible. Now moving on to the nails. She obviously has some white nails, so you can see the pink of where to go. So I would only take a very small, minimal amount off. Especially right now, my biggest recommendation would be to just take a very small amount off more frequently than to try and take a lot off at once, so you don't cause them to bleed or anything. Now the pink that you see there, that is nerve as well as a blood vessel, so if you do cut that, it will bleed. If you do cause a nail to bleed, a few things you can do is you can put some cornstarch on top. You can rub a bar of soap on top to prevent the bleeding. Obviously hold a lot of pressure on. If you've cut really deep and the bleeding is excessive, you will need to obviously visit a vet in regards to that. So I'm just taking a very small amount off. And I can angle upwards. And if you notice here, sorry honey, If you notice right in the middle of her nail, not sure if you can see, but it'll look a little bit more soft. And there's like a tiny circle inside the nail. That's where you stop because that is where the nerve is. As soon as you see that on any black or white nail, and again, we want to put the dog's foot in the most natural position as possible. I'm only doing it like this because she's very good and very used to being groomed. So if I was going to cut my dogs at home that are not used to their nails being cut, I would put them in the most natural position as possible and just bend their foot back. Obviously a lot of your guys at home won't have all this excess hair that she does here. There is a method to my madness on why she has that much hair. It's for a grooming competition, which who knows when that will actually take place. But anyways, so you should have a better view of your dog when they're in natural position like this. Hey everyone, so I'm just gonna do the same thing on her back foot. Now the most natural position for a dog on their back foot would just be to lift it up like this to do the top part. So again, I'm just going to brush up. You can even use your fingers to pull it up if your dog will let you. And we're just gonna cut on top of each crevice in between the toes. And we're going to do the same thing at the bottom to try and make their paw pads as clean as possible. Again, make sure your scissors are leaned against the pad. Very straight and flush with the pad so we're not cutting the pad. So this would be the most comfortable position to do the bottom part, is just to bring it back behind them. Do not bring it out this way, as that can cause a lot of discomfort for the dog. So just bring it up and behind them. So again, you can bring all the hair in between the toes down. Now if your dog does not even let you bring the hair down in between the toes, it's probably best just to leave it. Unfortunately, we do want to get back just as much as you want to get your dog in for grooming. But we're all in the same boat and we will all get through this together. So we just have to follow the guidelines of the CDC, and as well as the restrictions laid out by the government. So now I'm going to also do her nails this way, because again, this is the most comfortable for them. And it's actually the best angle for me because I can take off a bigger part at the top than the bottom of the nail. She does have two black nails back here, so I'm going to try and show you guys a close-up of what I mean about the soft area in the middle of the nail. So if you can see, even on the black nails on the outside, there is a soft circle inside of the nail, as well as the pink spot inside of the white ones. Thanks for watching.